The first thing I'd recommend doing is taking whatever you're working on and putting it to a scale of about 1 meter. The reason for that is a lot of the default pyro settings are designed with a 1 meter scale in mind. Right now, this particular mug is modeled to what it would actually be. So it's about 6 inches tall, or about 0.07 meters tall as well. So let's create a sphere. Again, this is the default size that a lot of settings like being in. Let's bring this up 1 unit, and then go ahead and template that and scale up our mug, like so. You don't have to do this. The pyro simulation will still work just fine at that small scale, but I found that ultimately this is just going to save you a lot of hassle if you start at this correct scale. Now, if you're working with deforming geometry, like let's say a character moving around, then check out my other mini course, which is all about transformations and quaternions, because that will really help you in that particular scenario. But anyway, now that we have this correct scale, we have our scene, it looks like that. We could start thinking about sourcing in those volumes for the pyro solver. Let's go back to the top level, create a geo network. I like putting all these initial volumes into its own geo network. So let's call this our pyro source. Well, let's call this our steam source. Why not? See? And then color that green. Let's use an object merge now and bring in the mug. So there we go. Now we have the mug, and we want to start with wherever the steam is coming from. So let's create some geometry that will represent the top portion of where the water sits. Let's select this face right here, hold down A and middle mouse. That will select the entire ring. Shift G will expand that selection, and then delete will throw down a blast with those faces. Delete non-selected, and now we can press S for select, 2 for edges, and then we can just fill these holes. So we can say polyfill. And on this polyfill, the defaults are kind of weird, so turn off smooth, let's use a quad grid, and also turn off deform patch. Hold down Alt and drag this node to make a copy of it. Hold down Y, slash across to cut that connection. And now let's go up to these edges and select the bottom. So do the same thing down here. Enter, and we're good to go. Well, almost good to go. I think actually it would be nice to go ahead and reverse these normals. So if we set down a normal, and also a reverse before that, now we have normals facing the correct direction. Now, eventually I want to have just a little bit of subtle motion going on for the surface of this water. So if I set down a mountain node, because of our topology, it's not going to look very good. It looks pretty bad, actually. So what we ought to do before this mountain node is remesh the topology. So remesh right there. That will give us all these different triangles that we can work with, and that'll work out a little bit better with the mountain. Let's turn down this target edge length to add more triangles. So we'll go like around that, I'd say. And then let's also throw down a smooth so that we're not totally flush with the mug at any point. So now we have this kind of thing going on. If we go to the mountain, you can see that it's behaving much more nicely. Let's turn down this height to about 0.1. Let's take our element size up to about 3. And then for this time section, I'm going to say $T, which means deform over time. It's going to use our frames here as a way of representing change over time. Our pulse length, I'm going to set that to something higher, like 3. And now we just have a very subtle deformation going on. Also, let's template our original mug. We don't ever want to be intersecting with this mug because eventually we're going to use it as a collision object. And it's just a little bit cleaner if you don't have things spawning inside the collision eventually. So let's actually transform this down just a tad bit to be safe. Take a, well, we can actually just press S for select, highlight all the faces. We can just say E for scale. And let's try that again. There we go. Bring that down a tad bit. And then T for transform. Press M to change the orientation so that we're in world space. And now we can just bring this down a little bit and scale it in so that we have something a bit more like that. Cool. Now, just to visually make sure that this is working, I'll say show all objects. And let's just go ahead and play this out a tad bit. And I think we are looking pretty good when it comes to collisions. Okay, well, in the next video, let's start making some volumes.